This is part 4 of set 2 of our Values Ed Majorship Enhancement Drills. And what is our goal, teacher? Yup, to top the board exam. Let's continue. Number 76. Proper implementation of values education in the Philippines must take the following into consideration, which is the exception. Students are guided to develop an abiding faith in the Supreme Being. Respect for religious diversities must be demonstrated by the teachers and learners of values. Appreciation is focused on commonalities among various religions. Religion should not be mentioned in the lessons, especially if students are of different religious orientations. What is your answer, teacher? Sa pagtuturo natin ng values education, isinasaalang-alang ba natin ang option A? Magabayan ang mga estudyante na lumago ang pananalig sa may kapal, Supreme Being. Option B, dapat maipamalas ng mga guro at mga estudyante ang pagrespeto sa iba't ibang uri ng pananampalataya o relihiyon. Option C, nakapokus dapat ang pag-appreciate sa mga pagkakapareho ng iba't ibang relihiyon. Halimbawa, pare-parehong naniniwala sa Diyos, pare-parehong gumagawa ng kabutihan sa kapwa, and so on. Option D, hindi dapat banggitin ang relihiyon sa mga lesson, lalo na kung iba ang relihiyon ng estudyante. So what's your answer, teacher, here? Alin ang exception? The answer is... Yep, it's option D. The answer here, number 76, is option D. Number 77. Which of the following objectives implies the need for values development in all school subject areas? A. Teacher should teach values every day in every lesson. Every teacher is a values education teacher. Only trained teachers on values should integrate values in their lessons. Values integration should be incidental. What is your answer, teacher? The answer is option B. Since we need to develop values in all subject areas, it implies that every teacher is a values education teacher through the integration of values in the learning areas. So number 77 is option B. 78. Economic efficiency as a value is least encouraged by a deep sense of work ethic, an accelerated productivity through vocational efficiency, the use of capital for family enterprises, a self-reliant and independent national economy. What is your answer, teacher? The answer here is option. Yup, number 78, option C. 79. Pakikipagkapwa-tao is one of the strengths of the Filipino character. This is manifested in all the following items except in one, which is the exception. A. Moral strength or fortitude, lakas ng loob. Sensitivity to people's feelings, pakiramdam. Solicitous concern for others or malasakit. Sense of gratitude or utang na loob. What is your answer, teacher? Pakikipagkapwa-tao is our openness to others and feeling with others, like, empathy, sympathy, and empathy. So we regard others with dignity and respect, and we deal with them as fellow human being. Pakikipagkapwa-tao is manifested in a basic sense of justice and fairness, and in concern for others, malasakit. It is demonstrated in our ability to empathize with others, in helpfulness and generosity in times of need, yung ating pakikiramay in the practice of bayanihan or mutual assistance, and in the famous Filipino hospitality. Option A manifests our ability to survive, our hard work and industry, and even flexibility and adaptability. So option B, C, and D manifest pakikipagkapwa-tao. So the answer here is option... Yup, it's option A. 79 is option A. 80. Which of the following best illustrates familism as a weakness of the Filipino character? Concern for family, loyalty to the family, patronage and political dynasties, family-centeredness. What's your answer, teacher? Familism. This is our cultural value that emphasizes warm, close, supportive family relationships and that family should be prioritized over self. This should be a positive cultural value, pero when it is excessive, it becomes negative and it becomes our weakness, weakness of our character. So, alin ang nagpapakita ng negativity rito? So, the answer here is, that's right. Number 80 is option C. This is very negative. Number 81. Which of the following is not an accurate strategy for change under the moral recovery program? Strategies must be multi-layered and multi-sectoral. Strategies should involve a critical mass of people. Strategies must be connected to the daily life of people. Strategies must empower those in authority. What's your answer, teacher? Ano ba yung mga strategy for change under the moral recovery program? So listen to me. Number 1, strategies must be multi-layered and multi-sectoral. Number 2, strategies must emphasize change in the power holders as well as in the massa. So both. Okay? Number 3, strategies must be holistic, involving individual and the system or structural change. Number 4, change must involve a critical mass of people. Number 5, the goals should be cut up into bite-sized pieces of implementation. Bite-sized lang para kayang-kayang i-digest, no? Hindi maimpatso pag sobra sa bite-size. Number 6, strategies must be connected to the daily life of people. And number 7, strategies must be implemented by an act of the will and involve self-sacrifice. So, which one is not mentioned? Option A, yes, we mentioned it. Option B, yes. Option C, yes. Option D, yes, but it's not accurate. So the strategy should empower or emphasize change in the power holders as well as in the massa. So the answer here is option D. Number 81 is option D. 82. Which can best manifest love of country as analogous to love of others? Kasing kahulugan ng pagmamahal sa iba ang pagmamahal sa bansa. A. Bring people's needs to the attention of those in power. Teach Philippine history informally at the barangay level. Strengthen the use of the Filipino language. Disseminate nationwide the biographies and teachings of our national heroes. What is your answer, teacher? The answer here is option A. Only the option A has the indicator of love of others. So, number 82 is option A. 83. The supreme and overarching value that characterizes a human person is global spirituality, human dignity, truth and tolerance, love and goodness. What is your answer, teacher? The answer here is option yes, that is the overarching value that characterizes a human person in values education. Yep, the human dignity. Number 83, option B. Number 84, what could best deepen children's values learned from parents and teachers? A. Consistent modeling with other social institutions. Reinforcement and recognition in public forum. Media exposure and advertisement. Personal reflection and witnessing. What is your answer, teacher? The answer here is... That's good. Option A, consistent modeling with other social institutions, lalo na ng pamahalaan. Okay, so number 84 is option A. Number 85, what is implied by this statement? The family is the seat of values development. All values are learned first in the family. The members of the family act together to shape the values of the children. It is the parents who project the kind of character their children will become. The state empowers the parents to educate their children. What is your answer, teacher? The answer here is option. Yep, this is similar to the statement, the family is the seedbed of values. All values are learned first in the family. Saan pa ba? So, number 85 is option A. 86. Which of the following concepts explain the humanistic philosophy of values development? The person's contribution to the community is most important in values development. The human person's dignity is mainly the goal of values development. The person lives to give meaning to his or her present existence. The human person's development must be grounded on his or her origin. Number 86, the answer here is option. Yep, it's option B. Alright. 87. The constancy of values allows the teacher to do the following except one, which is the exception. To improve teaching strategies to effectively deliver the values desired. To teach values to learners according to changing concepts of values. To direct learners to follow timeless Filipino values. To teach values based on universal guiding principles. Number 87. Constancy of values, meaning objectivity or universality, which is the opposite of cultural values, which are changing and dynamic. So option A does not necessarily tell us about the constancy of values. However, we do this. We improve teaching strategies, whether the values are objective or subjective. Option B, we do it when values are subjective or cultural. Option C, timeless values means constant values, objective values. And option D, universal principles are also constant. So the answer here is option B. We do the option B if the values are not constant or subjective cultural values. Alright, number 87, option B. 88. Which of the following is not a proper strategy for change under the moral recovery program? A. Put into action strategies connected to the daily life of people. Implement strategies by free will and self-analysis. Empower those in authority rather than the massa. Implement change holistically. So, we already talked about this in item number 81. And the answer here is option C. Number 88, option C. 89. What is toned down when a teacher consistently involves students in community work? Kanya-kanya syndrome, colonial mentality, lack of discipline, extreme personalism. Alin ang naiiwasan natin kapag ang mga estudyante ay sama-samang nasasangkot sa mga community work, tulad ng outreach programs or community extension programs? So option A is the answer. Kapag nasa community work, we tend to work together and be together. Yung community denotes unity. Kaya dito, pwedeng maiwasan ang kanya-kanya. Pwedeng ma-tone down ang kanya-kanya. Okay? So number 89 is option A. 90. Filipinos have an ability to survive which does not show this trait. Basic optimism and flexibility. Tolerance for violence and human rights. Deep faith in God. Endure despite difficult times. So, what is your answer, teacher? Ability to survive is our capacity for endurance despite difficult times. And it's our ability to get by on so very little. Kahit konti lang, pwedeng kayang makaraos. Kahit kaunti, na pagkakasya natin. Nakakapagtiis tayo sa lamig at sa init, di ba? Pag maikli ang kumot, natututong mamaluktot. Sabi sa amin, kayang mabuhay sa tagilid na lupa. Kung ano ang mga available na resources sa paligid na gagamit natin para mag-survive at mabuhay. At ito ay naipapamalas natin sa options A, C, and D except sa option B. So number 90 is option B. 91. Which is a manifestation of personalism? Passivity and lack of initiative, sense of factionalism, personal interpretations to actions, lack of discipline, and procrastination. Personalism, teacher, is personalism or extreme personalism is one of our weaknesses. We view the world in terms of personal relationship. Alam niyo yan, we personalize everything. We give meaning to things based on our personal interpretations. Kahit wala namang kahulugan, binibigyan natin ng meaning. May naghuhuni lang na ibon, ginawa na natin ng sign na, uy, suswertehin ako ngayong araw. Malakas yung huni ng ibon. May tumawid lang o may nakasalubong ka lang na itim na pusa, binigyan mo na ng kahulugan na, oh, baka malasin ako today. Hindi na ako tutuloy. Very personal. Kawawa naman yung pusa. Sabi ng pusa, ano ba? Wala akong kakayahang mag-schedule kung kailan ka lalabas. So, very personal. So, the answer here is option C. Option B is a manifestation of kanya-kanya syndrome. Yung option D, procrastination, is a manifestation of lack of self-discipline. So, number 91 is option C. 92. Which can best demonstrate love of country or as comparable to love of others? Inculcate love of country at the barangay level? Strengthen the use of the Filipino language. Bring people's needs to the attention of those in power. Publish nationwide the biographies and teachings of our national heroes. What's your answer, teacher? The answer here is, we mentioned this already, option C. Right. Number 92 is option C. 93. Values education is premised on the philosophy that the human person is of incalculable value. This means that every person has limitless potentials and that he or she is born to actualize him or herself. The human person has a spirit that never dies. The human person's mind can infinitely think of anything beyond imagination. Wow. There is no price that commensurates a person's life and dignity. What's your answer, teacher? Incalculable value means walang katumbas na halaga. The answer is option D. Hindi nabibili ang buhay at dignidad kasi wala itong katumbas na monetary value. Supposed to be, ha? Pero unfortunately, we have a lot of experiences in the history of humanity na nagpapakita na minsan wala talagang halaga ang buhay. Parang hindi pinahahalagahan. Makikita mo sa balita, sanggol, bagong panganak, iniwan lang sa basurahan. Mga manggagawang mahihirap, lalo pang naghihirap sa baba ng sweldo. Pag pobre, dusa sa kulungan. Pag mayaman, absuelto. Hay buhay. Di ba? So, number 93 is option D. 94. The human person demonstrates his or her being social by living in isolation to attain inner peace, moving from one place to another until she or he finds peace and happiness, interacting physically, intellectually, morally, and spiritually with others, relating with others through effective communication. Number 94. Yep, option C. 95. Which of the strategy below does not lead to the development of honesty? Showing the value of work and wise use of resources? Asking for official receipts in business transactions? Fighting for truth, example, against social justice? Joining a rally on salary increase? What's your answer, teacher? The answer is option D. Yep, number 95, option D. 96. What strength of the Filipino character is shown in getting by with what is available in the environment? Hard work, ability to survive, resourcefulness, family orientation. What's your answer, teacher? Resourcefulness is wrong. Bakit? If you look at the list of strengths of Filipino character, you will not find resourcefulness because this description is under the ability to survive. So, If we stick with the document provided by the Senate Task Force, our answer should be option B. Okay? Otherwise, you can choose option C if you like. But then, I chose option C when I first answered this. But when I checked the document, so I found out that the description is verbatim, so it's under the ability to survive. But then, since our study of values education is document-based, we want to stick with the list of strengths of Filipino or Filipino character. Because the framer of this question was definitely considering the Senate Task Force document. So, wag nating i-insist minsan yung kasi sa document, if we base on the document, so we will find the correct answer. So, option C is matinding panggulo. Okay? Number 96 is option B. Number 97. Which is not an accepted strategy for change under the moral recovery program? Again, A. Strategies must be multi-layered and multi-sectoral. The change should involve a critical mass of people. The goals should be cut up into bite-sized pieces of implementation. The strategies must be connected to our 4 pillars of moral recovery program. Okay, so number 97. Again, if you revisit the strategies under moral recovery program, you will find out that option D is not listed. We enumerated the strategies for change in item number 81. So number 97 is option D. Number 98. Which among the weaknesses of the Filipino character manifests selfish, self-serving attitude that generates a feeling of envy and competitiveness towards others? Lack of self-analysis and reflection, kanya-kanya syndrome, passivity, extreme personalism. What's your answer, teacher? The answer here is option B. Ang kanya-kanya syndrome is our selfish, self-serving attitude that generates a feeling of envy, competitiveness towards others, particularly our peers who seem to have gained some status or prestige. Diba? Yung option A, lack of self-analysis and reflection is our tendency to be superficial, mababaw. In the face of serious problems, personal man o social, kulang tayo sa analysis at reflection. Dinadaan natin sa biro ang maraming bagay na nakakahadlang sa atin na pagnilayan ng mas malalim ang mga problema na pwede naman sanang malutas agad-agad. Option C, passivity. We have a strong tolerance to everything, kahit corruption or injustices. Natitiis nating tanggapin na lang na para bang normal na sila at bahagi na ng buhay. Ayaw na nating mag-resist. We become inactive to fight. Passivity. Very passive. Option D, extreme personalism. Nabanggit ko na ito sa item number 91. Please revisit that. So number 98 is option B. 99. Which value is not under the physical dimension of man? Reverence and respect for life, environmental care, holistic health, self-worth or self-esteem. Sa physical dimension, ang core values natin ay health and harmony with nature. Ang related values ay holistic health, cleanliness, physical fitness, reverence and respect for life, and environmental care. So the answer here is option D. Self-worth is related under moral dimension. So number 99 is option D. 100. What dimension of man has love and goodness for its core value? Spiritual, social, moral, intellectual. What is your answer, teacher? Option A, sa spiritual dimension, ang core value ay global spirituality. Sa option B, sa social dimension, ang core values ay peace, justice, and respect for human rights. Sa option C, sa moral dimension, ang core values ay love and goodness. And sa option D, sa intellectual dimension, ang core values ay truth and tolerance. So, number 100 is option C. 100, option C. Now, how many points did you get in part 4, teacher? Please comment your score? 15 over 25 ba? So if you got 15 and above, hit the like button. If you got 20 and above, kung di pa nakasubscribe, hit the subscribe button. Alright? So thank you and see you in the next video.